Good evening. So Jack Creighton, Chairman of the Cohasset Select Board. And welcome to the Cohasset Select Board meeting of Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. Tonight's meeting will be conducted on the Zoom platform and live streamed on Cohasset 143 TV and Cohasset's Facebook page. The public is invited to participate on the Zoom platform, which can be accessed using the link provided at the top of the posted agenda for tonight's meeting. Members of the board and other scheduled participants will be able to participate when called on by the chair. All votes taken at this meeting will be by roll call. Members of the public who wish to ask questions are asked to raise their virtual hands on Zoom, and at the discretion of the chair, we will be promoted into the meeting. Your members must provide their full name and address for the public record. Please note that comments on platforms other than Zoom will not be monitored. This meeting is being recorded and will be available for later viewing on the Cohasset website 143. Meeting with planning. So I'm going to we've called the order to the select board. I want the select board to roll call of their attendance, starting with Jean.
Jean Healy Dipple here.
Paul Grady.
Paul Grady present.
Jack Creighton present. Corey.
Corey Evans here.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the planning board call to order. And when they've called to order and signed in, then we'll all join together in the pledge to allegiance.
All right, Tom Callahan, Chairman of the Planning Board, calling to order the Planning Board meeting of June 29, 2022. Roll call, Clark.
Clark Brewer here.
Tom Callahan here. Amy? Amy?
Amy Glassmeyer here.
Kevin?
Deirdre
Kevin
Hudson.
Hine here.
Oh,
Deirdre
and-
Hudson here.
Okay, we're all here. We have full attendance.
Okay, you can, over my shoulder, there's a flag. All those who care to stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the purpose of tonight's meeting. All right. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to, with the planning board, to vote on an appointment of a one-year member term to fill an unexpired term. Lauren, are you?
Yes. Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me. This is Lauren Lynn. I'm the Cohasset Planning and Zoning Director. To give some background as to what we're doing tonight, when Paul Grady was elected to the select board in the most recent town election, there was 2 years of a 5-year planning board member seat that was then left unfulfilled for the final 2 years of the remaining term. The process that takes place, typically planning board is an elected position. However, in these sort of scenarios where there's an unfulfilled term after an election takes place, you can make an appointment via joint meeting through the select board and planning board to fill that role for the next year through the following annual town meeting. So this will be a 1-year appointment term. And then the final year of that unfulfilled term will be back on the ballot for next year's town election for the remainder of that 5-year term. I'm sorry, for 1 year to conclude the 5-year term. So tonight, the process that we did, just to give you where we got to, we made public information available, reached out to different community members and groups, letting them know that there was this opportunity. We received a statement of interest from Chris Plex, who's here with us tonight, and that was all. It was Chris. So Chris is here tonight, and I'm not sure if he would like to say anything, give you any background, but the letter was distributed about a week or so ago, and then I'll turn it back over to the boards to have any discussion that they wish, and then you would just simply make each board, if you wish to pursue, you would just make an appointment for the reasons stated on the agenda.
Okay. Tom, do you want to take over this for the planning board?
I don't want to put Chris on the spot, but I think for the benefit of people watching Zoom or television. Chris, if you might just give us a little background, your reason for your interest, et cetera, that might, then we can just get to the vote.
Sure, I'd be happy to. My name is Chris Plex. I live at 17 Pleasant Street here in Cohasset. We've been in the community since 2009. We've been fortunate enough to participate in a number of planning board processes as active participants, and I see it as an opportunity to participate in the town, try to do some good. And I appreciate the consideration of both the select board and the planning board this evening.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Chris?
Just a comment. Chris, as he indicated, has participated in a couple of the larger village projects in the form of communicating with his neighbors and writing cogent requests or that he did an excellent job with, that the planning board could take under consideration. And I also saw from his letter that he's involved with policy, and I think that's a large portion of what the planning board does is establish policy, and then we get to see how it works, or if it doesn't work, or if it needs to be tweaked, that kind of thing. So it seems like his background and his commitment to his community is excellent. And so those are the only comments I want to make. I'm certainly supporting of having him appointed.
Are there any comments from the select board?
I have a few questions, if I may.
Yeah, yes. Who?
It's Corey.
Oh, Corey.
Okay, Chris, thank you for stepping up and doing this. And these are just, I don't want to say run of the mill questions, but I'd ask these of anybody. So I hope you understand they don't reflect on you at all. So the first question, I guess I have three questions. One, what drives you to kind of to step up for this role? And the follow-up to that is, if this was on your consideration, this is an elected seat. This board has been very careful about using appointments carefully when it comes to not seeding the water for elections in the future. So two-part question is, why have you not run for the seat previously? And are you planning on running for the seat? And then thirdly, I do know that there's a project on, I think, 1 Pleasant Street that's in the works. I just want to be sure that you understand, as a direct abutter, just like our colleague, Member Healy here, has to recuse herself of things that have to do with the Red Lion, that you understand that when it comes to abutting projects, you would have to recuse yourself on those things.
For the record, Corey, 1 Pleasant is done. We've already issued the permit.
Great. I'm just wondering, but if there's any question that come up during the permitting, or there's any, if that project comes in front of the board again for any reason.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for the opportunity. With regard to 1 Pleasant, I absolutely understand and agree with the obligation to recuse myself when appropriate. So no issues there. I believe your second question, and I apologize, I'm going in reverse order. Your second question was about whether or not I would be interested in running for the position in the future, and why I hadn't chosen to run for the position in the past. So I actually did pull papers for the position, and after looking at the fact that other people were running for the position, decided against it. But it was, of course, an interest of mine, and this seemed like a good opportunity to get more involved. And to your last question about running, I am interested in running for the position in the future. Your first question, and again, I apologize for going in reverse order. Why am I interested in doing this? My wife and I have lived here since 2009. We very much love the town. We love being here. We've always been surprised by how many people who grow up here come back and stay here. So we want to make sure that the town evolves in a way that is best for the town, best for the residents, and of course, best for the people who want to start and run businesses here. So that's why I'm interested.
Thanks for the answers.
Are there any other questions? Hearing no further questions. Oh, I'm sorry, Jean.
Well, I know Amy has her hand up. So,
Amy, okay.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Pleck if he has ever held an elected position before.
No, I have not.
That's not a requirement of the job.
I ask the question.
Other questions? Jane,
I just have a comment. So thank you, Mr. Black, for volunteering. Everyone volunteers, whether you're elected or not, right? And at the end of the day, I got my start in town politics on the Cohasset Planning Board, working with Clark way back when, around the time when you and I both moved to Cohasset. So I think it's a great segue into Cohasset town politics. And thank you again for stepping up.
Paul Grady,
I'd like to second that. I'd like to thank Mr. Plex for stepping up to the plate. As we know, we don't have a rash of candidates running to fill positions, and we're hoping to do that in the future to make it a little more attractive. So first off, Chris, I'd like to thank you. I've seen you in action, and I think your expertise is going to be a fantastic asset to the board and to the town.
are there any other questions, comments? I think how we'll proceed is this is a vote for everybody. There's no, the boards do not vote separately, so I'm going to call a roll call vote. Well, first of all, we want a motion
I'll
from
move-
probably whomever, who's making it, Tom?
I will move that we appoint Christopher Plex to the vacant position on the planning board.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded to appoint Christopher Pleck to the planning board.
Point of order, Mr. Creighton. I'm not quite sure we can make motions across elected bodies. So what I'd recommend is the
I
planning board.
don't, all right, Corey, I'm not sure that makes any difference. I read the statute. It doesn't say either way. It says the whole board,
The joint vote, so we're
the
acting
whole
like,
board votes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
so let's.
I appreciate you looking into it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing no further discussion, and I'm going to just call for the vote for the people that I
Can I-
see. Deidre? Oh, Tom, do you have a comment?
does anybody have an objection of our
Deirdre Hudson, aye.
associate? Yes, does anybody have an objection of our associate participating in the vote?
Not here.
If it is in accordance with the not having full quorum, I actually did want to introduce him and new member Deidre Hodson after this was over, but Kevin, do you have any comments?
No, none here, Jack, and I appreciate, the interest in, I think having new members at all levels of town governance is great. Planning board, from where we sit, can use a good candidate, so no, here, I am willing to vote if allowed to here.
Okay,
Tom, there's no reason not to have Kevin vote if we have a missing member.
Clark, raise your hand. Tom, what is the ruling on that?
I don't want to put the appointment in any kind of legal jeopardy. I don't think it does. I think Kevin's vote will be superfluous from my reading of things. So, but we allow our associate to participate whether his vote legally counts or not. So I just thought you should have that opportunity here as well.
It moved. Clark, did you have a comment?
Well, the general bylaw for the associate member of the planning board allows, due to an absence of a regular member, the chairman to request that the associate member vote on any matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Grady?
I think we're all in agreement, Mr. Chair, that Kevin's welcome to vote. I think Tom stated it succinctly, so my suggestion is why don't we just get to the vote?
I'm inclined to agree. I don't think there's anything. Anyway, again, we have a motion made and seconded to appoint Chris Pleck to the planning board. Again, roll call vote, Deidre Hobson,
Aye.
Amy Glassmere,
Aye.
Clark Brewer,
Clark Brewer, aye.
Tom Callahan,
Aye.
Kevin Heine,
Aye.
Corey Evans,
Ravens eye.
Jean Healy DePaul,
Jean Haley Dipple
Paul Grady,
Paul Grady, aye.
Tom Callahan.
I
Did I
can't
get-
vote, I can't vote twice, not,
All right, well, we're in Boston. Jack Creighton, aye. All right, congratulations. Chris, you are a member of the planning board. Well done. And by the way, I do want to, as we congratulate Chris for being a member, I think we ought to welcome Kevin as an associate member. And I think we want to welcome Deidre Hobson as a newly elected member. Thank you all for your service. And then one of the things, the most important thing a chair can do is when the business is done, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
For the select board, we have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. And roll call vote, Jean,
Jean Haley Dipple
Paul,
Paul Grady, aye.
Corey,
Corey Evans eye.
Jack Creighton. Aye. The select board is adjourned. Chairman Callahan, you want to adjourn the board?
may I have a motion from one of the members, please?
Move to adjourn.
Somebody second, please.
I'll
So,
second.
thank you. Roll call, Clark,
Clark Brewer, aye.
Tom Callahan, aye. Amy,
Glassmere, aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
and Deirdre.
Aye.
Oh,
You-
and Christopher,
and
and
you-
Christopher.
I was,
Yeah, here's your first vote.
Yeah.
Chris
Here's your
Plex,
vote.
aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you all for. getting-
Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope I won't let you down.
Well, thank all of you for giving up your Wednesday before the 4th of July. And have everybody have a very pleasant 4th of July weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too.
Thanks all.
Aye.